All right, let's get this set up.
I can't go barefoot, that's not, it's just barefoot, I don't have, now what are we doing here?
No,
let's ask first.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is for the bottom program. So,
No, I knew that part.
So we're just making a short clip that we're going to include in a presentation about.
So that's actually going?
Yeah.
But is that doing audio or video too?
It's video too. If that's.
I mean, I'm on?
You're on. So
How do you know I'm on?
I could see you. Okay. And so we're just going to use short clips of like you and Ann Young and other...
some of the student leaders on campus.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm good to go, and I'm glad this worked out. Because when
Yeah.
you wrote, I was really anxious to say yes, but I wasn't sure until I figured out what was possible for you guys.
Well, yeah, thank you for being able to meet such short notice and everything.
No problem. You know, it's
to pull it together.
you know, truth be told, you guys are beginning to find this out. You'll find out more. There's two ways to get busy people. One is to try to throw it out a year ahead, but be careful in counting those chickens before they're hatched, because sometimes, or you don't allow much time at all. And my experience with really busy people is that those are your two best shots, either a year out or how about tomorrow. And if they have free time, you know, people who know how to get work done and accomplish things with their lives and their leadership, you know, they're used to saying yes. And so if I call somebody in New York and I really need to get in to see them, and I know I'm going to be there tomorrow, I say, you know, can I come by tomorrow at 10 o'clock? This is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon the day before. And if that time is open, they almost always say yes. Because, you know, they're interested in having good things happen or conducting some opportunity. And so you really got to throw it out real far, or you do it like day after tomorrow. And so I'm not at all surprised this worked out. You know, so when I wrote back, I was pretty sure if you got a hold of Cindy, we could find, you know, 15, 20 minutes, a half hour. And particularly when this works out, when we can do it this way. If you're asking me to actually come to something, then it gets sticky because, you know, maybe I'm here, but that time's committed. So this worked out great.
Yeah.
So you guys go, and I'll do my best.
Well, we just have just 4 different points on leadership styles, and they've got a short list under them of, you know, traits of that type of leader.
I think what we were going to try and do is have you pick out which one you think you might be, and then we'll ask you some questions and kind of maybe decide from the questions maybe which one you think you.
Now, can it only be one?
Oh.
That's a tricky part.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We hate to.
It's your interview, so you
No.
put the ground
Which
rules.
one you would
Most
see yourself as, but like even with us, I could almost see myself in 2
multiple.
categories.
Yeah. But maybe which one you're drawn most to.
Okay. Well, let me just look here.
Sure.
Well, I am probably, I'm probably a blend between north and east. But I'm more east than I am north. And of course, that north is, you know, get her done.
Yeah.
And that clearly is a part of who I am as a human being. Though, in fact, it's very much who I am as a human being. It's not quite so much who I am as a leader. I'm more, in terms of what I am at my core, I'm a kind of get her done sort of guy. But as a leader, I would tend to be kind of the visionary, which is innovative, creative, big picture.
Yeah.
So can you think of like good examples that exemplify that?
When I got here to Center, I was not quick to act. I spent a lot of time listening, which I know kind of puts me more into the nurture category. But really, it was more about gathering up an understanding of the place and its traditions and its culture, so that I would know sort of, you know, where the longer and best throw would be, which makes me more kind of one of those guys from the East, a visionary. In 2 or 3 examples, I didn't really do anything in about my first 10 months here, I said, listen, and just sort of get a rhythm of the institution. Remember, I'm in my 14th year, so this goes back a ways. And I told people that's what I would do. That I wasn't gonna come in here and start changing furniture and, switching out offices and making, some kind of wholesale change. I wanted to get a sense of what was the rhythm, what was the character, what was the goals of the place. And then I would perhaps bring some of my own ideas and begin to, in a sense, imbue other people to have ideas that could be added into the larger conversation and decision. So the first two things I did, after about 10 months, was to decide to tear a building down. Not build one, tear one down. I couldn't find anybody who loved it. No one had gotten their first kiss there. No one, had these fond, kind of, deep-hearted, emotional attachments to it, so we tore it down. It was actually on the far side of the Norton Center. Remember it, never saw it. It's called East Hall, and it was ugly. And it was unusable, and we were using it for nothing. We tore it down and built some needed parking on that far side of the Norton Center. And I made Nancy Lackey, who now works in this office as a special assistant to me, I made her the college's first female vice president for student life, and she was well deserving of that title, and in the area that she directed was well deserving of that title. I mean, student life and what goes on in the lives of students from that point of view is a big deal at Center. It needed to be represented by a vice president, and she was the likely choice. And but both of those, I think, were an example of how I really do try to get a vision, and much of the work I do is not about this next fall, though all that has to be attended to. I don't want you to think I don't think about that, I don't pay attention to it, but I'm trying to imagine the college that Center might be in the year 2032, 20 years out, 2037, 25 years out. What kind of place might we have a chance to become? What will be the physical needs? What will be the kind of students we might have at that point? What kind of faculty? What kind of finance do we need to have in place to be sure we're able to still be a remarkable place for young people?
Right.
And that's my job. My job is to be looking for the long throw, not the short stuff. The short stuff, we got so many good people around here taking care of that. I don't think or worry a lot about that.
Okay, well, maybe with that. So do you think it's important to figure out other people's leadership styles? And if so, how would you adapt your own style, maybe to work with them better?
Well, and I've already alluded to this. My greatest gift has been to surround myself with outstanding people, and then let them do their jobs. I ask a lot of questions. I gather up a lot of information. I ask a lot of questions. Did I mention I ask a lot of questions? But so my style has been to really find outstanding people to be in these key jobs who lead with me. And by the way, in my way of thinking, no one works for John Roush. We all work for Center College, and we work with each other. This is a part of my approach to much of what I do as a leader is built around sort of the notion of team. We have different positions we play, but we're all on the same team and headed in the same direction. And so what I become a coach, I become a cheerleader, I'm an enabler for other people to do their work.